Good morning, wherever you are. It's time for the Monday Minute with the Poppy of the Paranormal. I'm Kristen Paul. I hope you had a good weekend. It is a balmy 1 degree where I am right now, so I hope it's warmer by you, unless you're into this kind of thing. I worked in this environment in my real job for over 40 years. Paid my dues. I'm staying inside all day. I'm not going anywhere. Of course, as always, we have Jan with us here this morning, and we got some things we're going to talk about today. But I want to get into a little story for you, and this is a little family story. Now, my grandmother, God rest her soul, was not a medium, not a clairvoyant, at least that I'm aware of. But she did have what she called visions, and she had a lot of them. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is I'm starting a new project for 2026, and this is probably going to take years to accomplish. But just about every day, and I don't really know when this started because I wasn't born yet. I do have papers going all the way back. I don't know if you could see it. 1952. That's the oldest date I have found so far. The newest date, or the youngest date, shall I say, I'm trying to remember, I believe 97. So we're talking 45 years. What does this date got to do with anything? Well, I'm going to tell you. I have got two totes in my basement. You know the big totes, the one that are about this high and they're about this wide. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody's seen those totes. Good chances are you've got a few of them yourself. My grandmother made a note of whatever she was experiencing just about every day for about 45 years. Most of the notes are short and sweet. Some are a little bit longer than that. I'm looking at one day here, May 21st, 1952. I just grabbed some stuff at random here. But, I mean, here we got a packet stapled together in the, this is like made into a little envelope here, this thing. This is, I believe, July 1992. One of the big issues I am having so far here, this is July 31st, 1992. One of the big issues that I'm having in this research is the fact that English was not my grandparents' first language. So these notes are written in kind of a first language, second language mix. Some things I can make out, but there's a lot of it I cannot make out. My sister wants to get involved in this project. Let me backtrack a little bit here. Some of these notes have maybe one sentence, maybe two, but the other one, like the note I just showed, is a little bit longer. Now, I know you're wondering, like, where am I going with this? Well, we're not quite sure, but I can tell you one thing 100% factual. There are some things, pardon me, there's dryness in the house making my nose itch here today. There are things in these notes, like I said, almost every day for about 45 years, that terrified my mother. Okay. My mother would not tell me what it was, how it was, what it was about, but she would not delve into these notes whatsoever. Okay. So I am starting a little journey this year to see if we can get some of these deciphered, for lack of a better term. Now, I showed you the packet here from July of 1992. I'm going to try to get all this out in one piece. I don't want to mess anything up. See this? This is commitment on a project right here. And I just wish that I could understand all of this. I will say many of these have got a strong religious connotation, I guess I would say, because I know the word Jesus when I see it. I do happen to know that there was a time in my grandmother's life many, many years ago, obviously, that my grandmother was in a situation of great need and literally made a deal with God to get her out of it. She lived up to her end of the deed. I know the deal. I know that for a fact. And I think Jesus did too, because she was out of that situation. So I'm really looking forward to getting into some interesting topics. I noticed that the first, in the beginning, let me back that up. In the beginning, when she started making these notes, they were in kind of these spiral notebook kind of format. There's a piece of tape on here. It says 5 book. Like I said, I just grabbed these at random this morning for the Monday Minute. I've got another one here. This is 7 book. And as time went on, I have found notes that were just little piece of paper about this big, cut with a scissors just into a square, just some random piece of paper that she wrote her note on. I have found notes written on backs of receipts. So obviously that was the piece of paper laying around when she was making her notes. But stay tuned for that. I will update on this scenario as I learn more. I know my sister wants to be involved in this project, and there has been talk of us going to someone my sister has contact with in Salt Lake City to try to decode some of this. Now, I don't know who is going to decode, 45. Let's do something rough here. Okay, just a rough guesstimate. If she did 30 notes a month times 45 years, how many notes is that? A crap ton. I don't know. Maybe with the help of AI, maybe we can delve into this. I think this is going to be a fascinating project. I am leaning toward a direction in these notes on what terrified my mother to the point of she would not touch these notes. She didn't want to look at these notes. I think I know the reason why. It's too early for me to make a public statement on that. But anyway, what do you think? If it wasn't for real, and let's air quote that, for real, would you keep it up for 45 years? That is a commitment. All right. That's the update on my grandmother's basket. Let us move on from there. Yesterday, I messaged Bishop James Long. If you've been involved in the paranormal for a while, you are fully aware who Bishop Long is. We thought, seeing that we were going to be in Louisville, we were going to see if we could get the bishop to at least maybe join us for dinner while we were in Louisville and introduce ourselves and just get some of his thoughts on some things I think that'll be real interesting if he'll join us. I don't know if he will. I will say this is not my first correspondence with Bishop Long, so I think I've got at least a fair chance of this happening. We'll see. Alrighty. What do we have next on the minute? A little revisit to another old location. You know, as I've mentioned before, when we're running multiple cameras, we have a crap ton of footage. And because it's just for us, when I say us, I'm meaning Dennis and myself, of course, that things don't always get reviewed 100% right away. Some things I'll probably never get to because I have got hard drives full of footage, some in laptops, some, you know, the portable ones, and my hard drives on all my computers and the detached, they're all 1 terabyte. So it's a lot of footage. Now, as most of you know, I mean, if we have a client with a problem, with an issue, that we're on right away. But stuff we do for us, for fun, for experimenting with techniques, for trying out new equipment, we get to that when we get to it. What I did in the last couple days is I reviewed some clip from Blackford County Jail. Blackford County Jail is in Hartford City, Indiana. There is another well-known haunt in that town. It escapes me the other location, but yeah, we'll get there eventually. I'm sure, you know. But we were up in the attic in Blackford County Jail, and I had listened to a clip, and I thought I had heard something in this clip. So, you know, what do? We break it down. We get the soundtrack out of the clip, put the soundtrack in gold wave, and then we find things, interesting things. So there is a new reel up, there is a new clip up on the YouTube channel. Please, if you go on the channel, give us a like, give us a sub, give us a comment. That algorithm is constantly changing, and we really would appreciate your help. A like, a comment, a sub, that just helps get our stuff out, and we can't do it without you. So we appreciate your help on that. All right, let's circle back around here. I wanted to make one mention of a private case that I've been involved with now for a year and a half, maybe ish. This is the location outside of Spring Hill, Florida. I was contacted by the client in the last week. He sent me a picture with multiple scratches on his stomach. He woke up this way. He does run cameras inside his residence, so I'm hoping maybe he'll have something to share evidence-wise from that situation. I hope, I hope, I hope. Ah, pardon me. I had a little power connection problem going on there, so I think I've got that rectified. You know how you get sometimes you think something's plugged in all the way and it's not? I think that's what was going on. I got this little pop-up saying power is going out, so I had to get up and make sure that was plugged in. I think we got that handled. But anyway, this is the contact that has had some interesting things with lights, with EVP, And one picture, I am pretty sure he's captured an elemental in a picture. Very, very confusing case, but I have come to like a personal conclusion on this case. You know, we've always had this conversation. We're Native Americans on your land. We're Native American. Did they hunt on this land or live on this land? And history points to no. Did the Native American tribe in that area know that there was something in that area and they just stayed away from it? That I don't know. But it is an interesting thing to ponder. So that's what we got for today on the Monday Minute. Be good to each other. We're all we got. So please, it's not always easy, but it's always right. Be good to each other. That being said, from a very, very cold and chilly morning in the executive studios of Crossingaurd Paranormal, this has been the Monday Minute. Peace out.